Hey, what is going on, Aries? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a general read. Because it's a general read, it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. My heater's on. It's a little loud. It's like 4 in the morning right now. I woke up, couldn't sleep anymore. I'm actually a highly functional insomniac. That's what my doctor called it. I don't sleep very much. So it's 4 in the morning. I thought, what better time than do some readings? First, I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Earth and Bone Oracle. Universe, give us a card for Aries. What do we have for Aries? Burrow. Exhaustion, questioning motivations, realignment. Now, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Aries? Oh shit, Aries. We're cutting the shit out today, Aries. We're cutting it out. I mean, first and foremost, I feel like this is someone that I feel like this past person. And now, what I'm feeling is there's a lot of chaotic energy between you and this person. Whether this is something that just ended or something that you've been contemplating ending. For some of you, like I said, it may have been something that has already passed. You already ended it. You already gave them their walking papers. But for others, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of dragging their feet. And I feel like you just got tired of it. I feel like you've been contemplating walking away from this. Emotionally, I feel like you're almost ready to just be done with it. And like I said, for some of you, you already decided to be done with it. It's just, this person is not, we got the three of Cups in reverse. This person just doesn't show up. They're just not giving you what you need. And I feel like I said, just feeling out of balance with this person. We have Temperance in reverse. Then we have the Five of Pentacles as well. So some Taurus and Sagittarius energy here. I just feel like you just feel out of balance and you're just sick of the hot and cold bullshit that you're getting from this person. And it's just like enough is enough. Like either show up or ship off. You know what I mean? There's the door. If you won't show up for me, someone else will. And I feel like it kind of feels more like it's more of it somehow turned into more of a sexual connection with maybe some friendship, but that's just not what you needed. You know, with the devil, I feel like it almost felt like confining. Like, is this what this relationship is? You know what I mean? It's like you get to a point where you're just like, what am I doing here? Like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Pardon the language, but I just don't know how else to say it. I mean, I feel like this person, I feel like you tried. You know, with this person just very defensive, and it feels like they shut you out. You know, I feel like you put in the effort, and it just got to the point where, like I said, we got the Nine of Wands, that very defensive energy, and then we got the Eight of Swords, that self-imposed prison. Like, this person is shutting you out. You know, they're not giving you what you need. They're not showing up. You know, and it feels like you're doing everything yourself. And it only comes to a point where you're just like, I don't deserve this shit. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just done. And I feel like that's where you already were at, or you're at right now. But I mean, I feel like what pisses you off the most about this person is the fact that you know they're capable of it. Or at least they talked a big game, but you just didn't get to see it. You know, and I don't feel like you took it easy. I don't feel like it was an easy decision. I feel like it was late nights of anxiety and just feeling like, you know, you got the short end of the stick, and how long are you going to take it? You know, it's time for this person to buck up and take hold of the reins. You know, make you feel desired. I mean, make you feel wanted, and not just in a physical sense. Not just like when it comes time to jump in bed. You know what I mean? Feeling like you have a real partner, that's what you want. And I feel like you weren't getting it. Like, this person was, you know, this is what you want. You want that emperor. You want that person that energy of someone that's there, that's got your back, that's someone that's there and protecting what you have. But you weren't getting that. Now, you may be surprised to hear, I mean, I feel like this person, you broke their heart. Or you're breaking their heart. And I know it's a sob story, you know what I mean? Pull out your smallest violin, but I feel like they are really heartbroken. I feel like they just didn't see it coming. For some of you, this may have been a little bit impulsive. Like, you know, I'm just sick of this shit, I'm out. Bye. But like I said, I feel like and now they want to communicate. Now they want to talk about it. Now they want to show up. Like, for some of you, it's going to be too little too late. You know, for some of you, it's going to be too little too late. You know, now they're communicating. Now they're putting in the work. Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Now they're showing up. Now they want to do the right thing. But like I said, for some of you, it may have been an impulsive decision, because we have the Knight of Wands, that Sagittarius energy. Like, let's not pretend that Aries can't be impulsive sometimes. So for some of you, this may have been just a quick turnaround. Just like, you know what, they're not giving me what I want. See you the fuck later. You know what I mean? But it was like, why aren't they getting the hint? They ain't getting the hint. Well, I'm out. But like I said, I feel like this person's seeing things a little differently now. Let's say they're seeing things a lot differently now. I mean, for some of them, some of these people that you're dealing with, Aries, some of you, I don't feel like they saw this coming, even though they should have. That's why I said I feel like there is some of this is a little bit impulsive. But it's like, when you had enough, you had enough. Like, what else do you need to do? You know, but like I said, I mean, I feel like this person's seeing things differently now. You know, and I feel like this person, like I said, I mean, they're heartbroken. Or they're going to be heartbroken. Stuck in their own head. like I said, they want to show up. They want to put in the work now. They want to do what they need to do, and I feel like it's a quick turnaround. You're gonna see a huge change in this person, and it's gonna be coming quickly. Like I said, with that hermit is like stuck in their own head, thinking about this, and just like wondering where they went wrong. I don't see this person giving up on you easily. I feel like they know what they had, and I see this person putting a lot of work. You know, with the Ten of Wands and the King of Wands, that Leo energy, I feel like this person putting a lot of work to get back to where they, you know, to get you back. You know, they're putting a lot of effort to get you back. I mean, I'm getting really like a complacent energy. Like you just got, you know, it got complacent, and it was like you just didn't feel important. And the last thing you want an Aries to do is not feel important to you. Because there's other people that they'll feel important too. You know, we're going back to the card, the Burrow. Exhaustion, questioning motivations, realignment. You know what I mean? It makes exhaustion, sick of it. Sick of this shit. You know what I mean? Show up. But like I said, I mean, for some of you, I feel like this decision seems impulsive. Now, it may just seem impulsive to them because they didn't see it coming, or it could have just been an impulsive decision altogether. But like I said, once you feel like you're not getting what you want, how long do you stick around to let them figure it out? Like, do I got to draw you a map? That type of energy. But like I said, I mean, I feel like this person is heartbroken. I feel like you really broke their heart. Aries, the little heartbreaker. But that's what I mean. Like sometimes you can't be that sensitive. You know what I mean? Like even if they didn't see it coming, they knew what they were doing or not doing. So it's not like what are you gonna stick around for? It's like that song, what's that country song? Did I shave my legs for this? This bullshit? Like I said, I really don't. I mean, I see this person put in a lot of work, put a lot of effort in, you know, with this Leo energy and going after what they want and finally showing up. For some of you, this may be just a kick in the ass this person needed. Maybe that's what it was its intentions was. For some of you, you're just done. You know what I mean? Forget it. Forget them. Move on. Like I said, some of you are just a final straw. But I don't see this person stopping. I see this person at least making a hell of an effort to get back into your good graces. But like I said, I don't. I mean, they know they fucked up. So there's that. And like I said, for some of you, I mean, this is the kick in the pants this person needed. Sometimes they just need a good kick in the pants. You know, sometimes we're in a relationship and it gets, you know, we get past that. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. I know I shouldn't start stories without finishing them, but I don't want people that don't want to hear my stories to have to hear them. We have Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. You know, we have Taurus. We have Virgo. I am getting some Pisces as well. Aquarius and Libra. You know, that sometimes that's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. You know, it's like I said. In relationships, sometimes we get to like in the beginning, and that's why I always stress this to people. I stress this to anybody that asks me. When you get with someone, don't go above and beyond. Don't do that. Like, don't take them to these restaurants you can't afford because you're trying to impress them. You know, don't buy them things that you can't afford just to impress them. Don't pretend like you're into something that you're not just to impress them, because that shit falls out in the wash. You know what I mean? Like, don't put yourself. I said I know what you mean. I'm sorry. That's my word of the day, I think. Don't put yourself in a place where they're expecting something that they're not going to get from you, because they're not going to get it from you. You know, a buddy of mine, he was dating this girl a few months back, and I don't know what possessed him to say some of the stupid shit he said, but he was like, yeah, he goes, man, she just wants to run all the time. He goes, you know, she always asks me like every morning, she's like, you want to meet up for a run? He's like, I don't know why she always wants to run all the time. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why did you tell her you like running? He goes, well, I told her that I run all the time. And, you know, the first 2 weeks we were dating, we went running like twice a week. And I was like, well, that's the problem, dude. Like, why would you say you don't like running? I don't think I've ever seen him run. But he did it to impress her. And when you do it to impress them, you may impress them. It's not going to be very impressive when they figure out that you're full of shit, and that the thing that they like about you isn't even real. You know, but a lot of times too is you get in relationships and you go big, and you go big, and then you like, you got them in your head, you got them. They move in, or you know, you become a steady relationship or whatever, and you feel like you got them, and then all of a sudden that game to impress them just slipped out the damn door and didn't tell anybody. Then they feel cheated. You know, I like with him, I told him the same thing. I'm like, dude, you got to stop looking for these girls that aren't into what you're into, because, you know, if sometimes you'll meet somebody that you're into things that they're not into, and that's fine if it works that way, but you can't lie about it. You can't, you know, tell people that you're into some shit that you don't know nothing about. You know, I remember I dated this girl in high school, and she was like, what was it? Horror. I was trying to think of the horror movie that I went to go see. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, that's not important. She said we were talking, and she was kind of flirting with me, and I was getting the hint that she was into me. So but anyway, she's like, what do you like to do? I'm like, well, I like movies, and you know, I like hockey and stuff like that. She's like, what kind of movies do you like? And I said, I love horror movies. She was like, oh, I love horror movies too. So anyway, she was nice and I liked her. So I said, hey, Friday night, do you want to go to the movies? She said, sure. We went to the movies, and I'm telling you, like, I think 10 minutes of the movie, the first, like, scary part, she's like, I gotta go. I'm like, okay. She's like, something's going on. I'm not feeling good. She's like, I gotta go. So I'm like, okay, sure. You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel good. Maybe something just didn't hit you right. So anyway, the next day, she calls me up and she said, yeah, she said, sorry, I wasn't feeling very good last night. And I said, well, it's, do you want to go to the movies tonight? Or another time, she's like, well, as long as it isn't a horror movie. And I'm like, you don't like horror movies? She's like, not really. And I was just thinking to myself, like, why bother? Like, it was a whole awkward thing, and all you had to do was say, I don't like horror movies. But that's what I mean, like, some people, you know. And I've seen so many guys do it too. Guys are the worst for it. You know, they'll take a girl out and they'll take her out to a restaurant where it's like $200 a plate, and this guy's pulling in $400 a week, $600 a week at his job. Like, you can't afford to do that. That's not sustainable. Like, don't impress people with things that you don't have by pretending like you have them. Impress them with the things that they don't know you have that you own. I mean, what I'm saying is your personality, who you are. You own that shit. You know, be confident in who you are and just stick to it. That's why I like blunt people. I always say this, I like blunt people. I like people straight to the point. Like, you know, even when I got with Rose, I mean, there were some things when I said I liked them, she's like, I'm not into that at all. Good, we have our own things, which is great for us because she's a Gemini, so sometimes she likes to do her own thing, and I'm a Sagittarius, so I like to do my own thing, and we come back together. Like, we're not completely alike. We're alike in a lot of ways, but there's some things we just don't like hockey. I remember I used to laugh because she used to watch hockey games with me, and she really actually started to get to know the players' names and stuff. But she really wasn't that into it. It was cute. I mean, it's cute when they're into you and they want to do things, but I mean, there comes a point where you just can't sell it too big. Now, saying you're into a little thing to, get some rapport going, I'm not downing that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like big things, like I said with the horror movie, the girl not liking it. That wasn't a big thing. That wasn't a deal breaker. It struck me a little bit weird. Like, why not just be honest? But like big things. You know, like I said, if you connect with someone on a certain subject, make it a subject you actually want to connect on, because you're wasting both your time. Sooner or later, they're going to figure it out. It's going to be a problem, and it's going to be your fault. So you can blame your own ass. You know what I mean? Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.